Hi everyone, this is Steph from Spa PR Company. Today I'm going to be speaking with Stacey Dutton, who is the affiliate content editor at Trinity Mirror. So she works across a lot of the online platforms. She does a lot of work with a lot of the regional titles. So I'm going to be talking to her today about how she got into that role and how she sort of spots up and coming trends, because that's a big part of her job. So I'm just going to wait for her to join. So let me see if I can find her. Here she is. So I will ask her to join now. Is it working? I've invited her. If you can hear me. There you are. How are you?
How are you?
Yes, fine, thank you. Sorry, I look a little bit green tinged. I think the lights in here is a bit funny today.
Oh, you look fine. I had that the other day, and every call I had that whole day, everyone was saying, "You're looking a bit green." I was like, "I'm really fine."
Just feeling a bit under the weather. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I just gave everyone a little bit of an introduction to you, but I'm sure you can do a better job. So can you tell everyone a little bit about yourself and how you began working in the journalism industry?
Yeah, no worries. So yeah, I'm an affiliate content editor for Reach PLC. Working with numerous brands, and we cover all of our regionals cover the whole of the UK. So we've got some of our biggest sites like Manchester Evening News, Wales Online, Liverpool Echo, and we kind of facilitate the affiliate programs that we have like across the board. So yeah, it's quite fun, obviously, because it is, it can be trending products. We can kind of cover things like the upcoming products and things like that, so it's quite broad, like the affiliate process that we kind of do.
Yeah. So you mentioned there that you sort of your role evolves around up and coming trends. So how do you spot an up and coming trend? Because obviously, if I see a trend, I'm like, oh, loads of people are wearing it, or using it, or whatever. So I'm going to do it. But how do you sort of spot it and know that that is going to be a trending product or thing?
Um, it just varies, really. I think we were quite lucky. I think especially with the pandemic, we kind of benefited from consumers being at home and kind of tapping into those articles that we create and things. So trends can change daily. It could be that even, well, especially with spas, like with you guys, as soon as obviously everything opened, everyone wants to book a spa, or everyone wants to book for like going out for a meal. So people will have different outfits they want, or different like taste cards, or like different ways of obviously getting out and things like that. So it can, trends is just one of those things. It can just change so quickly. But we've got all of these things that we use like to kind of find those, obviously Google Trends, social media, if people are wearing like the next well, God, just for instance, like Holly Willoughby, like if she wears this certain dress and everyone wants to wear it, and it just kind of depends, really.
Yes, you just have to keep your eyes out everywhere.
Yeah.
But like you say, I imagine in the pandemic, like from one moment it was sort of like going out outfits, and the next the big trends were like the best loungewear sets to wear because everyone was staying at home. So it's very, like you say, very changeable.
Yeah, definitely. And people booking, people just even booking to have like takeaway at home and things like that. We can kind of tap into those trends from people being at home, and yeah. So it's, in a way, like I say, I feel awful saying that, but we did kind of benefit from the pandemic to that because everyone was just ordering online, so we were just getting the most out of it, really.
Yeah, definitely. So then
Yeah.
what would you say is your favourite type of content to write? And what's the most widely read that you find is the sort of most clickable and things that get the best views?
Like I say, my expertise is like fashion and beauty, the shopping type content. So again, it just depends really. That's the type of thing that I love to obviously cover. And again, depending on what the trends are at the moment and things like that, like they are the ones that I love. If it is like that next nicest dress, or something can go viral on TikTok now, more than ever, and that's like the biggest one at the moment. So it's just little things like that, where you're going to get a great spike of everyone wanting to order it and things. So they're my type.
So you just have to keep your eyes across all social platforms, all over everything.
yeah.
So then, for people like myself and fellow PRs, what sort of pitch can we send to you that is going to make it stand out to you? Because obviously you're monitoring all of these things all day, you're getting people pitch things to you. Like, what is a pitch that really stands out to you and makes you think, yes, that's going to work?
Do you know what? It's just things that are so simple. I'm funny me when it comes to like getting certain emails through, and it's even just saying hi and how are you? Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes it can be so like impersonal when you get these emails through, and it's like, write this trend quick, or do like, it's nice to kind of have those relationships. Like obviously with you guys, like we get on great, and just keeping that flow of communication is kind of nice for us, because it is just so broad. We can get thousands of emails a day of the new trend, whatever. But yeah, a decent pitch for me is just something that kind of we know is trending. So it could just be something as simple as this celebrity's wearing this, or it's just so that it's got that angle, like look for that angle. And that's the even like, I'll just refer to you guys, but even like with a spa, you've got like the Wave Garden spa. I can't wait to go. Like just having a spa where there's that something that's a little bit different, that people will go, oh yeah, I want to go there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So then you write for a lot of titles across the UK. So how do you tailor your content to each region? Do you find it, I mean, obviously with things like spas and travel features, that's going to be quite different. But do you find things like fashion and beauty trends change across the country, or do you think it is quite similar all the way across the part?
Yeah, massively. There's like fashion and beauty things that just wouldn't work in Liverpool as they would in London, or it can just be something as simple as like certain brands will work in Liverpool but certain brands won't in London. Just looking at the way consumers buy, I think that's one of our biggest things. You've got like big toy stores like Hamleys in London that wouldn't obviously work in the north, or just seeing where that balance is with the north and south. I think obviously we've all kind of got like a similar way that we buy, but it can be more so like the cheaper options and things maybe might work better in the north than they would down south, not for any other reason, but they just do. You know what I mean? Or even London Fashion Week, for instance. As soon as London Fashion Week's on, it can just be that someone's wearing a particular dress to one of the shows, and that's it. It'll just blow up in London. So it just solely depends, really.
Yeah. So is that a lot of work for you to sort of like tweak all of them, or do you find that overall you sort of can hit the mark in most areas?
Yeah, like it's nice because we're such a small team. Our affiliate team, there's 4 of us, and we kind of delve into our own areas. So I'm like more fashion and beauty. We've got a sports writer, and we've got someone who covers like network, and our boss, he covers overall. And so it's nice that we kind of can use our expertise in certain areas.
Yeah.
But I'd say, just in general, like covering across the board, it's just keeping that communication, because like you said, it just depends. Something could work amazing in a small town just because they've just had, say, a big M&S open, and then all of a sudden everyone's going to M&S, and it could work in a small town. You kind of just have to tap into that, even if it is for such a small title. Yeah.
So then, what would be your advice for any aspiring journalists? Sort of what was your journey? I know, like, you used to be trend writer and now you're affiliate content editor, which is amazing. So what was your journey, and what would be your advice for anyone trying to get into that sort of industry?
I think with me, like, I just didn't really give up. I think I felt like I was like the underdog in college. Like, I had the mum who was getting 2 buses into college. Absolute nightmare, covering fashion and beauty, like political writers, like theatre writers, and they were all amazing. If anyone ends up watching this, they were like, we had a great team in college. But just not giving up. Like, I was doing like a fashion blog, or I was always like doing certain bits on other people's blogs, and doing bits of feature writing and stuff before I went for the job with Reach. So I think all of those steps that I took where I wasn't making any money, and it was a struggle and things like that. If you want to write and you're good at writing, I think it's just you've got to be willing to make those steps, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Just keep, like you say, keep trying, be resilient, and just do. And I mean, these days, like there's so much content, like you say, like TikTok, like not even necessarily writing, but just like being a content creator, or just being able to show that you can hook onto things that are coming up, or like being able to have those skills. It sort of works across, like they all sort of merge together, like these days. Like, you know, traditionally back in the day we would look for bloggers who could write you know, like write blog posts, but now it is like TikTokers, people want video content, so it's having sort of that skill set across everything, I think, is really useful.
Definitely. I think that's where, well, my boss even said it himself, when obviously I went for the job. It was kind of that I'd worked across fashion across the board. So I'd ran like a vintage shop before I worked with Reach, and I'd done a bit of styling here and there with vintage, and I'd guest blogged on fashion blogs, and I'd ran my own fashion blog and things. So I think because I was like more of a collective rather than just a journalist, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you've got that passion as well that's obviously shows.
Yeah. So I think it's just whatever, you know, if you're in love with writing, or if you have got that passion for something that you can write about, I think it's just willing to take those steps.
Definitely. Well, thank you very much. That's all the questions I have for you today, Stacey. But thank you very much for joining us. If anyone wants to follow Stacey, then we'll be posting this on our channel, and then people can go and follow you. But thank you, yes, very much for coming and seeing us today. And I'm sure I'll speak to you very soon.
Oh, definitely. Thanks so much for having me. Take care.